Hey everybody, it's the Herb Guy with the Elder Herb Shop, and welcome to Where Science Meets Nature, a channel where we discuss the medicinal value of plants and other natural substances found in the world all around us, and the science behind it. Today, I think I should probably have done this video first, but it'll be an introduction as to who we are and what we do. We're the Elder Herb Shop. We've been in business for about 6 years. We're located in a small town in Ohio. It's just my wife and I. We make natural products, capsules, body care products, tinctures, bulk herbs. Well, we don't make the herbs, but we do package them. And that's our business. We have a small store, and then we have some stuff in several other stores around the area, and we stay fairly local. Okay, so some people would say, why on earth would anybody want to use natural medicine? The answer to that is because it's natural. When you add natural substances to your body seems to react well to that. If you add foreign substances to your body, not so much. The downside to it is, here in the United States, we've been taught that natural medicine is old-fashioned, or that it doesn't work anymore. But what they neglect to tell you is that everywhere else in the world, natural medicine is used, except the United States. We have herbs that we can sell here in the United States by the ton if we had enough of it. Yohimbe, for example. However, we're definitely not allowed to export it because in every other country in the world it's a prescription drug. So what do the other countries know that the United States doesn't? Well, the other countries know that it's significantly cheaper if people can grow a lot of their own medicine. Which means that their quote-unquote free health care is a lot less expensive for them. There's a rose bush. You can harvest the flowers off of that and infuse your own oils. You can wait until after that's all done and get the rose hips here, loaded with vitamin C. Kind of sweet. They'll add something to your tea, they say. Sorry if that's not in focus. So back to my topic. When it comes to here in the United States, if you go to like WebMD or other sites, they'll tell you, well, there's not a lot of science behind herbal medicine. However, if you actually do some research and look, you'll see that there is a ton of science on herbal medicine. Roughly 70% of your pharmaceutical drugs are derived or directly made from some sort of natural substance or plant, animal, fungus, insects. But if they tell you that kind of stuff, who's going to be making the $600 a pill? Well, the pharmaceutical companies certainly won't. The politicians certainly won't be getting their kickbacks. So, and the people would be significantly healthier. But it's easier for people in authority to demonize natural healing and to point out that it doesn't work and it's all folk medicine. And unfortunately for those people, the American people are becoming significantly cannier, and they realize that the government doesn't necessarily have their best interest at heart all the time. And they're starting to do a lot of their own research. The good thing about that is, you have people that are getting healthier. They're getting back to nature. They're understanding a little bit more. The downside to it is you get a lot of morons out there that want to give you erroneous or inaccurate information, and then people get sick or die. And that's terrible too. I mean, that's not something we try to do in our business. If you're trying to help people, having them die is probably not the best way to go about doing that. So we focus primarily on herbs, and there's tons of other natural methods of healing. There's energy healing and frequency healing and Reiki, and there's just a ton of it. Homeopathy. There's just a ton of other kinds of natural healing, and I think they all kind of fall under one umbrella. You can find this stuff in your backyard. You can find it in a park. And oftentimes you go to public parks, though, you're not supposed to be harvesting things without some sort of permit, and that makes it more difficult for that as well. But some of the stuff you can grow at home in pots on your windowsill. Even if you're in an apartment, you can grow plants, feverfew. You could grow dandelions. You can pretty much grow just about anything if you have enough window space to do it. And why wouldn't you want to? I mean, if you can grow something that helps you and not have to pay hundreds of dollars a month for a prescription, it certainly makes more sense to me. On a quick note, I do want to point out a plant that I've been stepping over this whole trip out here in the woods. It's called jewelweed. Let's go back to it. Jewelweed is an excellent poison ivy remedy. It grows fairly abundantly here. It does best in wet soils. If it'll focus. My camera's kind of funny. The stalks on the jewelweed are very juicy, and if you get any poison ivy on you, you can just mush up the end and rub it on the affected area. It is real juicy, like an aloe. You rub it on the affected area. No, I don't have any poison ivy there, but that neutralizes the poison ivy oil. And oftentimes people that don't have an opportunity to get back inside to wash it off really quick, they have that option. And the good thing about it is the jewelweed grows right next to the poison ivy. The bad thing about it is the poison ivy grows right next to the jewelweed. So, you know, the jewelweed does cancel it out, but it doesn't stop it from being there. Anyway, back to my subject once more. So we use natural healing because there's less side effects. You know, there's some pharmaceutical drugs, and I put that in air quotes, that are actually made from herbs. There's one made from myrrh resin and the plant, but it's been patented as a drug, and it's prescribed by doctors. There's red clover flower is used for osteoporosis, and what they do is they take the flower and they extract it in alcohol. Oh, like any other, sorry about the finger, like any other tincture would be made, and in many studies it's shown that it actually stops osteoporosis in its tracks. But, you know, they can get $100 a bottle for it if they put a pharmaceutical label on it. So you can do a lot of your own research, and I'm going to start doing more of these videos. I'm going to stay away from scripts because I sound like a stinking robot, and I'm going to try to flow more for myself. There may be a few uhs and ums in there. I'll try to edit those out as best as possible. However, I am an herbalist. I'm not a cameraman, nor am I a video editor. So hopefully you'll be patient with me as I try to get that. Look at all that jewelweed. Holy crap, there's a ton. All of that is jewelweed, and eventually it'll get waist high. Often our poison ivy cream that we have and our anti-itch cream, we harvest this jewelweed in particular, and it's made with fresh jewelweed. We're going to go through and we'll point out science, the various studies and medicinal studies, what they use in other parts of the world, how they use them, and maybe even show some tricks and tips on how to process the herbs. That'll help a lot for people. You know, if you can just go into your backyard and harvest a dandelion or two, well, the benefits of that tea are pretty amazing. You have the ability, if you have some land, you know, and you have some friends and you're looking for a particular plant, do some research on transplanting it to your place, and you know, you transplant it over there, it'll propagate by itself, and you'll have that particular plant. This is all, you know, this is all fairly easy, and don't let anybody try to fool you into thinking that this is all tricky and, oh no, you'll never get it, and if you don't have my help, you'll never understand this, because that's just the most asinine statement I think I've ever heard. Everybody, all of us, has the potential to learn this stuff. You know, I've been doing it for roughly 30 years, so I have a little bit of a head start on some people. But I have other people that have been learning just for the last couple of years, and the amount of information they pick up in just a couple of years is phenomenal. In today's video, I'm going to post some studies in regards to the FDA and why I, in particular, don't trust them. I'm not going to tell you not to trust them. I mean, that opinion is yours, of course. But their approval rating on their drugs, 32% of drugs that the FDA approves have some sort of post-market safety event, which means that somebody got really sick or died. Now, if you reverse those numbers, that means that only 68% of approved drugs are quote-unquote safe. That doesn't mean that they didn't have side effects, they just didn't have anybody die. That equates out to a D average. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't know that I want to go to a doctor that has a D average. I don't know that I want to go to a lawyer or an attorney or anybody professional that has a D average. I think I'd probably stick with somebody that had the A average or Bs, and they were certainly better than D. But people put all their faith in the FDA. You can, like I said, you can transplant different plants to your place. Our house, we didn't have any burdock, which is the big round balls that stick to your animals and your shoelaces and everything. And this is the plant that we transplanted a couple years ago. I probably put it in the wrong spot. They prefer a lot more sun. You'll oftentimes see them like up against barns and whatnot. The leaves, when they're small like this and there's no flowers, they're actually edible. They're loaded with like vitamin A and iron and potassium. You can cut up the roots, or dig up the roots. Obviously I'm not going to do that with this plant until it starts flowering, but the roots are really good. They contain a natural source of inulin, so people that are diabetic, they're used in other parts of the world like China, where they'll be substituted for carrots, and they're significantly healthier for you. There's less sugar in them. But this is all easy stuff that everybody can learn, and I'm going to start doing these videos, and I'll start adding more information, and I'll give you some tips, and maybe you guys can learn too, and then you can share it with your friends, and this is something that we can bring back. I mean, holy heck, man, we've been using this stuff for thousands of years, and the only reason why we don't now is because a pharmaceutical company or a politician doesn't make any money on it. So I do appreciate you watching. Hopefully you'll like and subscribe. I'm working currently on a video on dandelion. This is sassafras that we transplanted. I'd like it to be a tree, but unfortunately it's just a shrub. We'll see what happens. Hopefully you like and subscribe. Share this video, and I'll give a couple quick tips right now in your yard right now, and you'll have to look at the plant up, and most likely you'll probably have it. If you're here in the United States, it'll probably be somewhere either in your yard or somewhere fairly close. It's called lamb's quarter. Now, if you're a vegan or a vegetarian, this plant is ideal for you. You can supplement it with your food. It grows like a weed. It is crazy fast in its growth. You can harvest the leaves, and that particular plant contains more protein by volume than beef, and it has key amino acids. And if you supplement that like with comfrey leaf, you'll also get vitamin B12, which is one of the key vitamins that vegans and vegetarians are missing from their diet. Simple things like that. You can get it from your own yard. You can harvest it. You can eat it, as long as you're not one of those people that spray hundreds of dollars worth of chemicals to kill them. And your dogs aren't peeing on them for the most part. They should be fairly safe. If you're worried about that, just wash them off really well. But I do appreciate you watching, and if anybody has any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.